Coming up on SUTV, we'll tell you about recent news in Cedar City.
And more about what's happening around campus. Stay tuned.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
It's a school night. With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
Not sure about those two. I've been meaning to ask you. This is tougher than I thought. Is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
I hope not, because alcohol can lead you to say things and do things that you really wish you hadn't. Isn't this what you're supposed to say?
I know.
So if any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you.
Ryan.
Yeah?
So start the conversation even before they're teenagers.
Good idea.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Cormac Bone.
And I'm Christina Schweiss.
Cedar is an ever-growing city, and because of that, more and more restaurants open to feed a hungry population. But here's a restaurant idea you might not have thought of, a fusion between traditional Asian flavors and chicken wings. Fire Wings Scratch Kitchen held its grand opening on Saturday, January 23rd. The opening offered customers a chance to try a variety of flavors through free samples offered by the restaurant. With menu options ranging from traditional Vietnamese flavoring to Thai peanut sauce, Fire Wings has options for all different palates. Fire Wings is located at the Shell Station at 1075 West and 200 North here in Cedar City.
Cedar City residents are already going bananas for the newest treat shop in town. Dippers serves frozen delights in the form of chocolate-dipped bananas with toppings of all sorts. Run by local SU students and siblings, Olivia and Ian Small, Dippers got started with a booth at the Cedar City Farmers Market. On January 30th, the duo opened up their official location and was met with incredible reception. Dippers is located at 18 North, 100 West, across from the Johnson Center here in Cedar City, and welcomes all in their new adventure.
Students looking for entertainment with friends need look no further than Noggin Games. Noggin Games is a locally owned and operated game store with all manner of tabletop and card games. There is something there for everyone. With a comprehensive demo library and play space, Noggin welcomes guests to enjoy the atmosphere in the store. Combined with its active local community and regular scheduled events, Noggin Games is a must-visit for those looking to spend a night of fun with friends.
Spending time outdoors is difficult in the winter, especially when snow and ice cover popular recreation trails. The Cedar Canyon Park Trail is one of the many paved trails in Cedar City. The 2.7-mile trail begins at Cedar Canyon Park and follows Coal Creek Canyon alongside the Canyon Road. Taking just about an hour to complete, this is a popular trail for people looking to get outside in the winter. Cedar City helps to maintain these trails year-round to keep them dog, bike, and wheelchair friendly.
Their first Fix-It clinic on Monday, February 12th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. The Makerspace, located in the Engineering and Technology Building, Room 106, is a campus resource for creation. With professional tools and equipment such as a laser cutter and a 3D printing station, all students are welcome to come learn in the space. At Fix-It clinics, students will be taught by a repair coach on how to maintain their belongings to reduce the waste of fixable items. The next clinic will be held on March 11th. To learn more about the resources at your disposal, visit the Thunderworks Makerspace webpage on su.edu. Stay tuned for more on SUTV News.
We'll be right back.
For too many people, this can be the gateway to opioid addiction.
My son was in pain. He needed something after surgery.
I was prescribed opioids. I didn't realize the risk.
Our family was changed forever by opioids.
Meet 3 everyday Americans whose lives were devastated by opioid addiction.
Everyone says it can't happen to me.
It can't happen to me.
It can't happen to me.
Tell that to my son.
Tell that to the 3 million people who become long-term opioid users every year after surgery. The truth is, we didn't know we had options other than opioids after surgery, but now we do.
I never thought addiction would be part of my life story, but it is.
Visit planagainstpain.com/gateway to hear their full stories and learn about non-opioid options for managing pain after surgery.
Welcome back to SUTV News. As the SUU film program has gained more traction this last year, Cedar City begins to reestablish itself as a gateway to the movie industry in Utah. Our reporter, Bryson Olson, has more on the recent commemoration event on filmmaking in Utah.
The Cedar City Tourism Office partnered with the Utah Film Commission on February 3rd to kickstart the commemoration of 100 years of filmmaking in Utah. The event featured a film titled Finding Deadwood Coach, written by Professor John Smith and produced by the SUU Advanced Video Production class. Along with Finding Deadwood Coach, several films created in a 48-hour film competition from the weekend prior were also featured at the event. The competition allowed new and upcoming filmmakers to hone their creativity and technical skills in filmmaking. As film becomes more prevalent in Utah, directors like Reese Kaiser are excited to see the progress of the industry.
It means that I think that we could really bring film to Utah. Right now, the film industry is decentralizing away from California. I think it'd be really cool if we can actually get people to come to Utah, and I know the Utah Film Commission is doing it. They're trying to pave the way for future filmmakers. So I think that people should just start getting more involved in the film community.
The Utah Film Commission features an exhibit on the 4th floor of the state capitol, along with a traveling exhibit to celebrate the 100th anniversary. If you would like to learn more about filmmaking in Utah, you can also visit film.utah.gov. That's film.utah.gov. For SUTV News, I'm Bryson Olson.
St. George is full of outdoor activities. Our reporter Keller Sherman has more.
Dixie Rock and Red Hills Desert Garden sit adjacent to each other in the red foothills of the biggest city in southern Utah, St. George. Want to follow up your hike at one of the STG's most notable landmarks with a casual walk through a garden? This could be the place to go. We spoke with a local about how they highly recommend this place.
I really love Dixie Rock hike because it's just so peaceful and relaxing, and it's really not that difficult, so pretty much anyone can do it. I would say it's a beginner's hike, which I love that. There's a lot of versatility. People can use it and stuff. And yeah, it's just really gorgeous, and I just love it. It's a really great place, and especially right now at this time of year, we're so blessed to have such beautiful weather. So yeah.
At Red Hills Desert Garden, a leisurely walk will result in encounters with various plants and even some fish in the stream that flows through the garden. Visitors can read more on these botanical features and aquatic life while strolling through the park. It can be a great reward for completing the somewhat challenging yet beginner-friendly hike next door at Dixie Rock. Breathtaking views of the city can also be seen from both the garden and the hike. From SUTV News, I'm Keller Sherman.
Kanab is hosting their annual Balloon and Tunes Festival this weekend, starting Friday at 7:30 in the morning. Each day, the festival will begin with a hot air balloon launch as long as the weather permits. If the weather isn't good enough for the balloons to launch, no worries. There are still plenty of events and venues to see. Friday will end with a lantern festival launch at 7 and the events will pick up again Saturday morning at 7:30. Live bands will play all throughout the weekend to keep the festival lively. More information can be found online at the Kanab Balloons and Tunes Roundup website.
Utah's educational and institutional landscape finds itself at a crossroads following the passage of the highly contested anti-DEI bill, HB 261. Brooklyn Monson has more for us on this new anti-DEI law.
After much debate, the fast-tracked anti-DEI Utah bill has officially passed into law. Utah Governor Spencer Cox signed off on the bill last week. This controversial bill aims to replace diversity offices at universities and public schools with student success offices. It also seeks to restrict diversity trainings in workplaces and changes personal statements about diversity in hiring.
I think that this is going to have a really big impact on a lot of the students with minoritized identities here on campus, and that includes, not just what they define DEI to be, so not just students of color, not just queer students, but I think it will harm a lot of students that have those intersectional identities. It will take a lot of safe places away from students.
SUU Student Body President Carson Brown advocated for student voices in the last few weeks, where changes to the words diversity, equity, and inclusion will happen in schools and workplaces.
First of all, I'm a student worker in the Center for Diversity and Inclusion. Knowing that we have to possibly change our targeting makes things difficult because it's already a lot of work for 3 student workers to email hundreds of students on a weekly basis and make sure they're okay and that we can serve them. And knowing that we won't be able to have specialized services for underserved communities and that we have to branch out potentially, that's just a discouraging thing and is also not a realistic thing.
Concerned SUU students have recently gathered in the Student Involvement and Leadership Center to watch live streams of the Senate meetings. Various diversity centers at SUU have expressed their opinions on this new law, turning to official statements on social media and planning upcoming community conversations. This bill is now into effect as a law, and we will see the coming changes here on SUU campus. For SUTV News, I'm Brooklyn Monson.
Coming up on SUTV, we've got the weather. Stay tuned.
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down. It doesn't matter how you say it.
You all right?
Everything's okay?
Oh, gee.
You all right, girl?
You cool? You bugging dog.
Just show you're there for them. Go on, Kelly. Susie, awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey, did you buy something from some gaming site?
What do you mean?
Yeah, look, there's a bunch of different charges on here.
Do you think someone stole our credit card information?
I don't know. That site sounds familiar, though.
Yeah, isn't that the site that Billy's on all the time?
You don't think.
Billy!
Stop and think before you connect. Playing online is serious business. Visit dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect for tips on how to be safe online.
Welcome back to SUTV Weather. I'm Brooklyn Monson, and we're going to take a little look at the weather here in Cedar City, Utah, but not before we acknowledge the Happy Singles Awareness Day, or as I like to call it, my favorite day in the entire year because you get half off candy, half off flowers. So, you know, I went and got myself some, so I think you should too. Moving on to the weather, this is a live stream of our library quad here at SUU. As you can see, the sun is going down, it's setting, but we do have quite a few people who, you know, are just chilling. The snow is finally melted. It's totally fun. I really recommend going on a walk if you have a dog, if you have a friend, or both. Just go on a walk around campus. I highly recommend the weather lately, so I really like that. Moving on, we have the weather forecast, so it is going to be sunny for the next 2 days, and then we're going to move back into the partly cloudy sort of weather, and it is finally going to move up into the 50s a little bit later this weekend during President's Weekend, and we will see like the winds here in Cedar get up to around 27 to 25 miles per hour with that sort of partially cloudy, partially sunny sort of weather, and it's going to be super nice. I'm super excited that it's a little bit heating up and finally getting back to this normal sort of spring and summer weather. The groundhog was right as usual. And just looking at our little precipitation here, just around Cedar City, there is going to be a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow, but it's not going to be very much. So it will probably just be overnight, so just watch out for that. And then all of our winds that are upcoming high winds are going to be coming in from the west, so make sure to prepare for those. If you're driving through canyons, make sure to go a little bit slower. And, you know, honestly, I'm excited because I'm going to have my hair wet and I'm just going to have a natural blow dryer. And that is all that I have for you. Be safe and be kind. Back to you, Christina and Cormac.
It's starting to get warm. The spring wardrobe has come out.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
making my moves, my spring scents, you know, my perfumes. Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, Aiden from the morning show, he showed up in shorts this morning.
He did. I was impressed.
The sun wasn't even out. Man was in shorts.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What a
I
champion.
did just a hoodie and like pants, but I mean, I still
Yeah.
felt like nice.
I still was in my heavy coat. You know, I got real cold. I was in my blanket, couldn't leave.
Yeah.
You know. Coming up on SUTV, we have more on SUU women's basketball and national sports news.
Stay tuned.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Welcome to SUTV Sports. I'm Aiden Mortensen. Coming off the Utah Tech game this last Saturday, the SUU women's basketball team went up against Grand Canyon University, who sit at #1 in the Western Athletic Conference. Although they battled the whole game, the Thunderbirds would come out on the wrong end, with the final score coming out to 77-61 in favor of GCU. 2 standouts from the Thunderbirds include Ashley Banks, who scored a season-high 15 points and had a team-best 9 rebounds, and Shiho Isono, who came off the bench to score 10 points and racked up 3 assists. Today, both the men's and women's basketball team face conference foe Seattle University. For the women, they'll make the trip to the Red Hawks Center in Seattle to face the 2-20 Red Hawks. The Thunderbirds will look to freshman forward Ava Urich, who's averaging 13 points and 7.5 rebounds in her debut season. And providing leadership off the bench is Alexa Lord, who's averaging 5.5 points and 5 rebounds. For the Red Hawks, it's sophomore Maya Moore leading the charge. The forward is averaging 12 points and 7 rebounds and 1.5 assists. The tip-off for that game is scheduled for 7 p.m. The men, on the other hand, face a dominant force in Seattle U, but with the rowdy Thunderbird student section, anything can happen. The Thunderbirds will be looking to the play of guard Dominique Ford, who is scoring 16.5 points a game, to go along with a little over 4 rebounds a game. For Seattle, it's Cameron Tyson who will be a key contributor. The guard is averaging 17 points a game while also shining on defense, averaging a steal a game. That game is scheduled to start at 6:30 p.m. in the AFEC. Yesterday, at the championship parade for the Kansas City Chiefs, an armed gunman opened fire near the Union Center, killing 1 person and injuring 20 others. Authorities say that the incident stemmed from a disagreement between the suspects. Basketball trouble for Detroit Mercy ended yesterday as they beat Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis 81-66 in a Valentine's Day showdown. The Titans were led by guard Jaden Stone, who finished the game with 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. That moves the Titans to 1-26 on the season. For our local crowd here, the final standings for Canyon View basketball have been released. For the boys, they are seeded 6th, and they'll be taking on 11-seed Union. That game is set for Saturday the 17th at 1 p.m. in the Nest. On the girls' side, Canyon View finished with the 7th seed and also secured home court advantage through the 2nd round. They'll be taking on 10-seeded Layton Christian Academy Friday at 7 p.m. That's all we have for today. From SUTV Sports, I'm Aiden Mortensen.
Thanks for the update, Aiden.
Sports.
Yay, sports. We love sports.
I need to attend SUU stuff more.
Same.
I feel bad about it.
I go to the games that I have to work. That's pretty much it. And then my roommate forced me, the one day I had off in a week, she forced me to go to a basketball game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And
but I
you
saw my
said-
favorite coach, so that's okay. Rob Jeter, shout out to you. I know you're watching. Next, we will talk about things happening on campus.
We'll be right back.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Welcome back to SUTV. I'm Christina Schweiss. Here at SU, the Communication Department is experiencing new changes. Here is Caden Houchin with more.
The SUU Communication Department held a ribbon-cutting ceremony in the AFEC to showcase their new labs opening on campus. Live demonstrations were put on by the various labs to showcase the capabilities and opportunities students and faculty have access to.
The event is designed to introduce the new labs in the Communication Department. 3 new labs in the Communication Department are available now for students and for off-campus entities. The Virtual Reality Lab, the News Lab, and the Brand Lab that students can use and also students can use in their classes, but also off-campus entities can use these services to create messages and graphics and to do research, like in the Virtual Reality Lab.
Overall, the Communication Department is thrilled to have these new labs on campus. For SUTV News, I'm Caden Houchin.
In spring 2024, the 3 hosts of Thunder 91's morning radio show, The Morning Brew, are celebrating a whole year of working the show together. Christina Schweiss, Aiden Mortensen, and I have changed how we ran the show when we first started in spring 2023. This year, each weekday has its own special minigame, like Would You Rather Wednesday or Tangent Tuesday. Aiden and Christina will be graduating at the end of the year, so stay tuned to hear who hosts next. You can listen in to our show every weekday from 7 to 8 in the morning on Thunder 91.1 FM.
To have a richer after-school life, SU students go to Sock Hop Live. Sock Hop is organized by a dozen SU students who prepare weekly performances with local artists. And a special event called Y2K Night is one more excuse to dress up.
A special themed event, Y2K Night, organized by Sock Hop Live, was held at the Johnson Center in Cedar City. DJ Jug from St. George was invited to perform for the event, and it attracted many students.
I help run a little organization called Sock Hop Live, and we specialize in doing weekly concerts. So every Tuesday we do $5 concerts, but we've been trying to expand. So we're playing around with some different alternative events, and we wanted to have a dance night. So I thought that Y2K, early 2000s pop, and R&B would be a really good way to start that off because it's been a big trend. So we're just doing it to have some fun and bring the community together.
The event was well decorated and filled with elements of the 2000s. Those who came to the event dressing up in Y2K style costumes and take pictures with the set. It was like they were really back in the party thing of the 2000s. According to Grace Park, one of the event managers, they invite different bands to perform every week, and those bands are from Cedar City or even Salt Lake City. They try to give the audience a better experience by having variety musics.
It's good. I mean, they also have a lot of live music here every week, so I've been here a few times, and it's a cool little spot.
Don't forget to follow the SUTVLive's official account for more information about the shows. For SUTV News, this is Rachel.
As the 2024 Lunar New Year approaches, International Affairs hosted a special Welcome to the New Year event on February 8th. In order to keep the tradition alive, the Office of International Affairs organized New Year's events for the students to have comprehensive understanding of the word New Year. The walls of the venue were covered with different traditions of the Lunar New Year from each Asian country. The students were able to learn about the New Year while experiencing the festivities. It's a great opportunity for non-Asian students to learn about different cultures.
On Tuesday, February 13th, SU students were able to take a break from academics and be treated to a spectacular Mardi Gras celebration. The event was adorned with colorful decorations and music from a live jazz band. Thanks to the combined efforts of the Student Programming Board, the Black Student Union, and the Center of Diversity and Inclusion, attendees were able to immerse themselves in the rich culture of Mardi Gras celebrations. Students were able to get a taste of the festivities with traditional king cake, engaging arts and crafts, and the social experiences involved with Mardi Gras. Typically celebrated in places like New Orleans, SU students were able to celebrate it right here in Cedar City, Utah.
At Southern Utah University's Communication Department, things have been hectic due to multiple changes and a new course.
Ryan Steinekert, SUU professor and KSU station manager, is shaking up the curriculum with a focus on sports broadcasting. Here on Southern Utah University campus, Professor Steinekert's new sports broadcasting course has high hopes among students looking to pursue work in the sports media industry.
I would describe it as a hands-on overview of sports broadcasting. We cover a lot of different things from play-by-play to color analysis for TV, for radio.
Having filled all available seats for its debut semester, student interest and engagement is high. Multiple students currently taking the course have reported positive interactions and excitement for the class.
It's also exciting because I love to broadcast, I love to speak, get my voice heard, and so this way I'm allowed to get my voice heard in a different way than I normally do. And so on Friday, I'll be able to talk to a bunch of people about basketball, and that's going to be exciting.
Professor Steinekert has invited multiple speakers to cover their experience in the sports media field and share their insights on the industry as a whole.
We've had 4 guest speakers so far, including Spencer McLaughlin, who does the play-by-play for SUU. The BYU play-by-play guy, Greg Rubel, has been with the class. The Central Michigan University broadcaster, Adam Jackson, has been with the class, and I've got several more coming.
With high prospects and student support, the new course is slated for success here at SUU. Reporting for SUTV News, I'm William Heaton.
So Christina, tell us about your recent crocheting adventures.
Oh, I've had the best time, okay? I made a squished rat bookmark. Wow. Yes, and he's adorable. He's about a foot long.
Did you name him yet?
No. I'm thinking Ray the Rat, or just
Ray,
Mr. Rat.
Mr. Rat.
Raymond. Yeah. Raymond. Exactly. Yeah. See, he's just adorable. He's a quirky little guy.
He's got that flat torso so you can close him in a book.
Yeah, he's a little bookmark man.
And everyone loves Raymond.
That's true. Everyone loves Raymond. Look at that.
So good.
Cultural reference from our middle of nowhere Utah man,
Fair.
Aiden Mortensen.
We love.
Yeah. I just imagine Raymond in the book squealing for his life.
Exactly. That's what we love.
Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Cormac Bone.
I'm Christina Schweiss.
I'm Aiden Mortensen.
And I'm Brooklyn Monson. Tune in next week for more.
Scobers!
Man, it's like we almost forgot that part.
Yeah.
Now give him the win.
Joining me today to help illustrate the critical importance of contacting 811 before you dig is my alter ego, Mike Rowe. Can you hear me down there?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I am not having a good time.
Oh, what's the problem, little buddy? Well, for starters, I'm in a sewer. Yeah, been there, done that.
Something's wrong down here. Hey, wait, whoa, whoa!
Oh yeah, that's just another guy who started to dig before he called 811.
You smell that?